I would not be surprised if the Chiefs' run game actually got rejuvenated against the Baltimore Ravens, because the defense as a whole, it's just been really, really bad. A pass rush, we send 4, didn't work. Send 5, doesn't work. Send 6, still doesn't work. There's concerns with the offense. We have issues with Derrick Henry fumbling every game. In the Lions game, they almost set a blueprint in the second half on how to play Lamar Jackson just about as perfectly as you possibly can.
So in today's video, I have a quick hitter conversation with Ravens content creator and Graven VIDS as we process through the Ravens' recent loss to the Lions on Monday Night Football, and then look ahead to the next matchup between these two teams. We break down the biggest concerns for both teams on both sides of the ball, and I really think you're going to enjoy this one. So let's get into it. But first, how about those? All right, we've got a game between the 1-2 Ravens and the 1-2 Kansas City Chiefs. Week 4. How are you feeling heading into this game? Obviously, the Ravens just faced a buzzsaw in the Lions. They're a really good team. I'm not going to read too much into that. I do have a couple concerns for you guys, but this isn't where I give a lot of my thoughts. I'd rather you give thoughts on the team that you talk about every single day. So how are you feeling heading into this game? Any major concerns you have? Let's just start with the offensive side of the ball for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, goodness. Ravens, they are such a tricky team because we have the offensive line issues that have been issues for years. We have issues now, new issues with Derrick Henry, fumbling every game. Fumbles, there's obviously never a good time for a fumble, but the fumbles come at the worst moments. But that's something that I know if the Bills were on it, the Browns were on it, and the Lions were on it, I know Andy Reid and the Chiefs, they certainly going to be on it too, trying to punch that ball out from Derrick Henry. But the offense, they still putting up points. They put up 30 points in the Lions game. They put up 41 against the good Browns defense. They put up 40 against the Bills. There's concerns with the offense, especially when it comes to predictability. The Baltimore Ravens giving their tails on exactly what they're going to do. One of those things being with Derrick Henry. When he's on the field, 99% of the time, they're going to be running. But as soon as he comes off the field in number 43, Justice Hill is on there, 99% of the time they're going to be passing. We have another running back that Chiefs fans may not be aware of. His name is Keaton Mitchell. Very explosive, very electric running back. And us as Ravens fans, we have been excited for him to make his return to the field. But he's been inactive for the first 3 games. And all of us have been wondering why. Hold up, Keaton Mitchell, he's amazing. He's great. He can do all this stuff, but he's been inactive. But one of the things that John Harbaugh said when it comes to the offense, he said that if Keaton Mitchell is out there, then that's sort of a tell that the play is going to go to him. So that's been something with our offense too. It's just been a frustration when it comes to coaching and how to get players in position to have success and just to make the most out of players' opportunities. We have had our struggles, but we still put up points, but we haven't had our fullback, Pat Ricard. Not sure if he's going to play in this game or not. We also haven't had Isaiah Likely, who I know y'all are very familiar with as Chiefs fans, especially from last season with the whole toe. That was very, very tough, very, very frustrating. But he should be back for this game against the Chiefs. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But on the offensive side of the ball, things have been looking good and bad all at the same time. Now, with Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense, I know things have been a little bit shaky. I know Rashee Rice, he's still obviously out. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce ain't been on the same page as much as they used to. Hollywood Brown, he's been a little bit up and down. How you feeling about Kansas City Chiefs offense right now?
Anemic. It's it's kind of like really probably how any team would feel if you don't have a run game, which you guys can't relate because you have a great run game. Obviously, the fumbles are an issue, and a very surprising issue from Derrick Henry. I think I saw he fumbled 3 times over the last 2 years prior to this, and he's fumbled 3 times in 3 games. That's a big, weird thing he's going through. It's kind of like, it's not the same level, but for us, Harrison Butker's missed a kick or an extra point in every single game so far. And it's just a guy that you would think is automatic. I mean, you guys, we're not going to get into it, but you guys had Justin Tucker for years and he was automatic a lot. So it's just Derrick Henry should be automatic. You asked about the Chiefs offense, but it's just when you're down wide receiver 1, you're down wide receiver 2, you have no run game. It is tough sledding. It looks like the 2024 Chiefs offense because of the injuries that they had last year. That was the reasons why. Well, Worthy's injured. Rice is still going to be suspended until week 7. Yeah, it's tough sledding. And then Kelce is not the Kelce of old. He's still a good tight end. I would say top 5, 8, top 10, depending on the metrics you're looking at. But at his age, you're really not supposed to be funneling this offense through him once again. That's not how it was supposed to go. And then they didn't upgrade the running back room at all. They did sign Elijah Mitchell in the offseason, but he's been inactive, kind of like the running back you just mentioned for you guys. He's been inactive all 3 weeks. And then they drafted Rashard Smith in the 7th round, but he's got 1 year of running back experience in college. He was a converted wide receiver. So they've only been sparingly using him so far. So yeah, I do have my concerns about the Chiefs offense. In spite of all that, you look at how much they've struggled and how weird it's been. I think I saw a stat last night that Mahomes has the most 30-plus yard passes in the NFL. I would need to verify that, but that's a very interesting stat because they have been trying to be more aggressive with Tyquan Thornton. And then they are like 7th in EPA per play on offense. And if Kelsey would have caught that pass that got tipped up and picked off in the Eagles game, they would be around 4th in EPA per play on offense, which is kind of wild because you look at their offense and you're like, how? Well, a lot of it's the Mahomes scrambles and being effective with that. He didn't really do it last week, but yeah, against the Ravens, like you guys, the Lions did whatever they wanted on the ground. It was really wild to watch that. Well, don't worry, because you're going up against a Chiefs team that doesn't really run the ball or know how sometimes or have the pieces to be able to do anything explosive. They've had the least explosive runs, I think, through 2 seasons or since 2024 season of football. So you're not going to worry about a David Montgomery 70-yard run against Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco, even though Pacheco might have the burst to be able to pull something off, just doesn't have the vision.
You know, that's interesting because you would think like, hey, Ravens, if the Chiefs run game hasn't been anything serious this year, I know for a while, I'm not sure if this is still current, but Patrick Mahomes was the Chiefs' leading rusher for the first couple of games. Does that still hold true till now?
It's very close. I would need to look up the stats, but he ran double the yards of any running back the first 2 weeks, and he didn't run at all really last week. His one run last week for 15 yards on 3rd and 12 got negated by a illegal formation penalty on Jawan Taylor. So that's something that I'll be curious to see how you guys hold up against the Chiefs O-line. They have had their struggles, but you were also down a couple of your key guys in the trenches on defense. Do you have any confidence that they'll be able to play this week? I know it's early in the week when we're recording this, but Van Noy and then the last name that I suck at pronouncing that you'll be able to nail first try.
That's all good.
It's 2 of your key pieces.
Van Noy, most likely not. Matabike, most likely not. With Matabike, he has a neck injury. And usually when it comes to injuries, Harbaugh, he lets us know, oh, it's not season ending. Oh, this player will be back at practice next week, or he should be back in the next couple of weeks. But he has given nothing on Nnamdi Madubuike whatsoever. A lot of us as Ravens fans, we're very concerned about that injury because they've been very mum on it. And there's been no details. And they said they got to do further testing to see what the extent of it is. But maybe we'll know later this week. I think we should. But just how long he'll be out for. But we'll see. But the defense, it's like with the Chiefs. I know you talked about how you guys don't really have much of a run game and whatnot, but it seems like with the Chiefs, I go back to the AFC Championship game from a couple of years ago. The week prior, the Bills, they had run all over the Chiefs like crazy. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, we're going against the Chiefs AFC Championship. It's from M&T Bank Stadium. You saw what the Bills did to the Chiefs on the ground. Oh, we're getting ready to do the same thing. It's like Ravens they threw the run game out the window. So a lot of times it can seem like when it comes to the Chiefs, and maybe it's since Andy Reid used to have Harbaugh on the staff, so I don't know what it is, but the Ravens, they forget everything. They forget everything that works. They forget everything that's successful, and they just throw it out the window. I would not be surprised if the Chiefs run game, I hope it doesn't, but I would not be surprised if the Chiefs run game actually got rejuvenated against the Baltimore Ravens, because again, with Nnamdi Madubuike potentially being out, Kyle Van Noy still being out, just the run defense, it's just been bad. The defense as a whole, it's just been really, really bad.
Hey, if you're enjoying the conversation with Engraven Vids in today's video, make sure to check out his YouTube channel, especially this week, as he does videos every single day about the Baltimore Ravens. If you want to know more about the team that the Chiefs are about to play, he's also getting very close to 100,000 subs, so maybe we can help push him just a little bit closer. I saw a stat. You guys have put up 104 points through 3 weeks of football, and it might be the only team since like 2000 to have a losing record with 104 points put up. I do think the Chiefs will try to run. I understand there's a weakness there, and they will run. But I'm just saying it's not going to be David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs back there. So it's less of a concern. I will say with the Chiefs defense, they typically do a pretty good job of stopping the run. It's whether it's Saquon, it really, for the most part, hasn't mattered. I know Derrick Henry throughout history has given the Chiefs problems, but with like Nick Bolton, that's his strength. There's some positives there with the Chiefs' run defense for sure. I would think they do all they can to make sure Lamar can't run around like a human joystick, even though that's probably what he's going to try to do. 7 sacks last night. I know we're recording on Tuesday was insane. I could not believe it. It was kind of a wild thing to see Lamar get brought down that much. But I think they're going to sell out to try to stop Henry, maybe try to punch the ball out. I would like that. You would not. Limit Lamar to force him to be one-dimensional, but he still throws the ball really well. He had 200 and something yards last night and 3 touchdowns. I think he has 9 touchdowns and 0 picks on the season. So this guy can kind of do it all. I'm a little worried about the Chiefs' pass rush. They have been a bit underwhelming. They were better against the Giants, but the Giants don't have a great O-line. They're just not a great team right now. So yeah, they got pressure on Russell Wilson, who is kind of a statue these days in comparison to Lamar Jackson. So I am a little concerned about the pass rush being able to get to Lamar when they only rush 4 without having to send blitz help. So it's going to be an interesting kind of back and forth there against a very high-powered Ravens offense. My concerns are more for the Chiefs offense compared to the Chiefs defense and then Harrison Butker on special teams. But this is not the Giants that the Chiefs are about to go up against. It's going to be a much tougher opponent, a much bigger fight and battle. Maybe Worthy will play, but that shoulder is going to be a problem the rest of the year with a chance of re-injury. Jalen Royals is the Chiefs' 4th-round rookie. He was active last week for the first time since dealing with a knee injury. He did not play. I don't really know what to expect for the Chiefs' offense, but it's going to be a weird game. I hope the Chiefs can pull something off here, but yeah, the Ravens are a much better team than the Chiefs, the team that the Chiefs just played.
When you were describing your concerns with the Chiefs pass rush, I mean, it sounds like you're speaking about the Baltimore Ravens. It sounds the same exact thing that we've been saying on this side, because a pass rush, we send 4, didn't work. Send 5, doesn't work. Send 6, still doesn't work. The pass rush has been a big issue this year. Getting back to Ravens offense, because again, the offensive line is so weird, because when you look at the box score, again, Raven 30 points, 41 points, 40 points through the first 3 games, but the offensive line has still been pretty bad. Lamar Jackson has had to run around a lot to try to buy more time. In the Lions game, they almost like set like a blueprint in the second half on how to play Lamar Jackson just about as perfectly as you possibly can. Because they had a spy who just sat there, and sometimes 2 spies that just sat there and waited. Didn't even engage with the offensive line, just sat back and waited. And they said, we're going to wait for Lamar Jackson to run right into us because he has nowhere else to go. Because they have a nice front 4, the Lions do, and they were getting pressure enough. But then so Lamar was forced up, and he just ran right into them. They grabbed him by the ankles and brought him down. Then, of course, he had 7 sacks. I asked people after that game against the Lions, like, if you would have put up a picture of Jared Goff and Lamar Jackson side by side, and you ask the question, which one of these 2 quarterbacks is going to get sacked the most times? 20 times out of 10, people are going to say, oh, Jared Goff, easy. Lamar Jackson, the most mobile quarterback in the league, maybe the most mobile quarterback, best running quarterback that the league has ever seen. But then it was the exact opposite, because Jared Goff got sacked not once, not a single time. And Lamar Jackson got sacked 7 times, like not even 2 or 3, but 7 times. Lions really laid out a crazy blueprint on how to get to Lamar. But again, everything starts up front in the trenches, and the trenches are where the Baltimore Ravens are struggling at like crazy right now.
How about those Chiefs?